Did you know that you're probably deficient in magnesium? Because that's the case for about 80% of Americans. Yet when you look at the label on vitamins in the store, you might notice that there are different kinds of magnesium. So how do you make sure that you're getting the right one? Let's look at that. Because magnesium is super important. In fact, it's involved in over 300 different chemical reactions in your body. If you eat the typical American diet, you're bound to be deficient. Add to that the fact that blood pressure medications and consuming alcohol and fluoride, which are probably drinking from the faucet or from your bottled water, and intestinal problems, which are very common, all of those things can deplete your magnesium quickly. Once you're deficient, it impacts your energy and the health of your bones and your muscles and nerves, as well as your digestion and your mental health and your immune system and your heart and your blood sugar levels. So getting enough magnesium is crucial. And the first place to start is by eating plenty of magnesium-rich foods. So I've got some listed up here. Leafy greens such as chard and spinach, broccoli and winter squash, pumpkin and sunflower seeds, almonds, Brazil nuts. Now banana is listed up here, but I don't like to include banana because of the amount of sugar. Same with papaya, right? You can have it occasionally, but not too often. Raspberries is a good low glycemic fruit, as well as wild-caught salmon and mackerel. Now, most people are also going to need to take a magnesium supplement. And as I mentioned earlier, there are several different kinds of magnesium available. This is because magnesium must be combined with another substance, either a salt or an acid or an amino acid, for it to be stable in supplement form. And these compounds vary, in how well they're absorbed and also to some degree in their health benefits and bioavailability. The bioavailability is, how well your body can actually use it. So let's break this down. Magnesium citrate, is basically magnesium carbonate combined with citric acid. When you add it to water, you get that fizzing reaction that bubbles for maybe 30 seconds or so. What's important to know here is that magnesium citrate has excellent bioavailability and is particularly good for supporting digestion and acid reflux and constipation. And it also has a calming effect, and it's also pretty inexpensive, so it's commonly used in supplements. Magnesium chloride, is another popular form. It contains less magnesium than citrate, but has a high absorption rate. This type of magnesium is extracted from ocean water and is efficient at supporting digestion and bone health, and it has a calming effect and helps with sleep. Now, magnesium oxide and hydroxide, they have very low bioavailability and tend to have a bit of a laxative effect, which is why that's the kind that you'll find in milk of magnesia. Another critical factor about that is if you take it orally, you can actually overdose on that one. So that's not one that I typically like to take if I'm looking to improve my magnesium levels. Magnesium taurate only has 9% magnesium by mass, which basically means if you want to get 100 milligrams of magnesium in your supplement, you're going to have to take over 1,000 milligrams of magnesium taurate. So that's just not an efficient way to get your magnesium. So that's not typically one that I'd go to. Magnesium glycinate, that has high absorption, high bioavailability. That's good. Tends to relieve muscles and overall stress. Has a calming effect, helps with sleep. And this one has no laxative effect, so that's a good one. Magnesium sulfate, if you're familiar with using Epsom salts, this is the one that you'll be familiar with. So this is used for detox and soothing muscles. But this one also, if you take that one orally, you can overdose. So that's not one that I typically would use if I'm looking to increase my magnesium levels. Magnesium orotate, this one actually is magnesium connected with orotic acid, and it helps mainly with athletic performance and repair of tissues, heart health. So if you're looking for those things in particular, if you're an athlete and you're looking for those things, that might be one you'd want to consider because you get the benefit of the orotic acid along with some magnesium, but it tends to be very expensive. So if you're just looking for a magnesium supplement, that's not usually one that I would pick unless you're looking for those specific things. And then magnesium threonate, this is a good one. It has high absorption, high bioavailability, also helps with cognition and memory and dementia because it can cross the blood-brain barrier and can help to repair the mitochondrial membrane. So this one is key if you're looking for, to get magnesium into your central nervous system, into your brain. The challenge is this one's very expensive, right? But, it's a really good one in terms of magnesium supplementation. So that really leaves us with 4. Got this one here, the magnesium threonate, the magnesium glycinate, magnesium chloride, and magnesium citrate as the ones that you're typically going to want to use if you're looking for a magnesium supplement, right? So that gives you 4, of the 7 types. And when you're considering a magnesium supplement, these 3 tend to be very similar, right? In terms of price point and what they can do for you. And then the magnesium threonate is going to be the one that's a bit different, right? Because it's going to be quite a bit more expensive, but it's the one you're going to want to use if you're looking to specifically target your brain. All right, I hope that shed some light on the different kinds of magnesium that you'll find in supplement form. And if you found this information helpful, please go ahead and subscribe, and I'll send you my next video.